Imagine if you could replace two of Ninja's best-selling kitchen appliances with just one machine, which is a quarter of the cost. In this video, I'm testing Costco's £150 soft serve ice cream and frozen drink maker to see if this bargain appliance has managed to achieve what Ninja seemingly couldn't, combining the Slushi and the Swirl in one machine. I'll test frozen cocktails, soft serve ice cream, frappe and slushies side by side with the two Ninja machines, and stick around till the end to see how easy all of these appliances are to clean. First, I want to give you a quick overview of these three machines in case you're new to them. Ninja's Slushi is a frozen drinks maker. It has a compressor built in, which means it will create frozen drinks from scratch. There are two versions, the regular Slushi and the XL version. I'll be using the regular, which has a maximum capacity of 1,890 ml and takes between 15 and 50 minutes to make frozen drinks. This model has a list price in the UK of £299.99. Ninja's Creamy Swirl is a soft serve ice cream dispenser. It doesn't have a compressor, so you need to freeze ingredients for 24 hours, blend them using the machine's powerful motor, and then use the dispenser. The Swirl's maximum capacity is 480 ml, and importantly, it has no way of keeping the ice cream cool once it's removed from the freezer. The Swirl has a list price of $349.99. And finally, the Gourmia machine, which I picked up at Costco, is both a frozen drinks maker and a soft serve ice cream machine, in theory doing the job of both the Ninja Slushi and the Swirl. It has a compressor, so it can make drinks and ice cream from scratch and then keep them cold. Plus, it has a sprinkle dispenser and a warming plate for sauce. It has a maximum capacity of between 1,400 and 1,600 ml, depending on what you're making. And it takes between 18 and 35 minutes to make drinks and ice cream. I paid $149.99 for it. To start with the testing, the first thing I needed to do was make and freeze the mix for the Ninja soft serve. I used the signature soft serve recipe, which we used countless times last summer. It's mostly cream, milk and sugar, but it has a tiny bit of xanthan gum, which helps to improve the texture. Once that was mixed, it goes into the freezer for 24 hours. We'll come back to that later in the video when I compare dispensing it with the mixture made in the Costco machine. Now onto the Slushi. For this I used 1 litre of apple and mango juice in both machines and put them on their slush program with the temperature control set to midway on both machines. The Costco machine finished first, and then the Ninja took a further 3 minutes and 45 seconds to be ready. When it comes to dispensing, it's a pretty inelegant process with both machines, with the frozen liquid plopping out of the machines in lumps. Mind you, if you think this is bad, just wait until you see the frappe in a couple of minutes. The Ninja was the quickest, taking just 16 seconds to fill the glass, whilst the Costco machine took 45 seconds. However, ultimately, as the Costco machine actually made the mixture quicker, it was still the fastest overall. Both finished drinks were identical with the same consistency and flavour, and both went down very well with the neighbours' kids. I got about 8 slushies out of the two machines, though we could have added more mixture if we wanted to and got more drinks out of it. I didn't actually think that I wanted a slushie up until the point when I tasted it, but I've got to tell you, frozen apple and mango juice at 11 AM on a boiling hot day is actually amazing. So test 1 is done, 3 more to go. If this video has been helpful so far, now is the time to give the video a thumbs up. And if you want to see more like this, then make sure you hit the subscribe button too. So the next test was coffee frappes. The frappe recipes for the two machines are slightly different, with the Gourmias containing more coffee and the Ninjas containing more milk. I decided to use the Ninja recipe, which should take 35 minutes in the slushie. In comparison, the Costco machine says it only takes 18 minutes to make a frappe. The Costco machine finished way ahead of the Slushie. But if you thought that dispensing the fruit juice was inelegant, the frappe was on a whole other level. For the record, if you're watching this, we are all aware of what this looks like, but we're just going to focus on the drink and the machine. This frappe took about 4 minutes to dispense from the Costco machine, but towards the end we did work out that if you pumped the handle it dispensed a little bit faster, although arguably this looks worse than the normal method. After 4 minutes of pumping what looked like frozen slurry in a 30-degree heat, and with the Ninja still nowhere near to ready, I decided to step into the garden for a break and set the timer for 13 minutes, which is how long the Ninja should have needed to be ready. When I came back into the kitchen after the machine had been running for 35 minutes, my son told me that, oh yes, it had beeped, but it was still on 2 bars and nowhere near frozen. So we ran it for another 10 minutes and managed to dispense half a glass of frappe in 60 seconds. But then, for reasons I don't understand, it stopped dispensing entirely. The Ninja Frappe was a fail. I don't know why, but I do hold my hands up to the fact that by going into the garden, I didn't give it the fairest of trials. So, 2 more tests to go. I'm going to show you what the soft serve looks like in a moment, and trust me, it's worth waiting for. But before we swap the Ninja Slushie for the Swirl, I had one more test to do with the Slushie, involving a hot Friday night and making frozen cocktails. The recipe I used required 750 ml of pre-mixed gin and tonics combined with 100 ml of cordial. I set both machines up on the frozen cocktail setting with the freeze setting midway. For some reason, the Ninja machine just didn't seem to get on with this mix at all, despite the fact that it's actually from the Ninja recipe book. It beeped to say it was ready after 14 minutes, but the mix was still liquid. So I turned it up to the maximum freeze setting and then left it to keep mixing. The Costco machine beeped to say it was ready after 37 minutes, and so we tried dispensing both side by side. The Ninja's mix was less frozen, despite being on a higher setting than the Costco machine. It took only 15 seconds to dispense, but the Costco machine took nearly 2 minutes to fill up the glass. But the results from both were actually fantastic. Part sorbet, part drink, incredibly refreshing, and also dangerously easy to drink quickly in the heat. And finally, after 24 hours, the soft serve mix for the Ninja was ready, so there was a chance to test both machines' ability to dispense ice cream. The Gourmia machine makes ice cream from scratch, so I combined the same ingredients I used for the Ninja's mix and added them to the machine. Top tip for this: the handle on the machine does not spring back into place, so make sure you have it in the closed position before you start pouring liquid into the machine. Fortunately for me, it was actually the second time I've managed to make this mistake, and so I caught it a lot quicker this time. The Gourmia takes 30 minutes to blend, during which time it does vibrate a little bit. So another tip from me: don't add the sprinkles dispenser before the ice cream is done. Otherwise, it will eventually work its way out of the hole that it goes into, and you'll end up with sprinkles all over the worktop. At the 25-minute point, I added the pot of frozen Ninja ice cream to the Swirl to blend for approximately 5 minutes. And when that was done, we slid it out and placed it in the dispenser. Then it was the moment we had been waiting for. Time to see which of these 2 appliances did the best job of dispensing soft serve. Both machines produced good shape ice creams, dispensed in about the same length of time. But the Costco machine does have the bonus of having that slightly messy sprinkles dispenser, a sauce warmer, a cone holder, and crucially, it will actually keep the ice cream cold for up to 3 hours. Whereas the Ninja ice cream starts melting the moment you take it out of the freezer. For the record, neither machine dispensed every single drop of ice cream, but you can always use a spatula to get the rest out and eat it, or just stick it straight back in the freezer. Now on to something else that's really important, which is cleaning these appliances. Each machine is slightly different. The Slushi separates into 4 parts. Earlier models of the Slushi did have a problem with a lip around the edge of the main tank, which was impossible to reach to clean. But I've checked this new version and Ninja appear to have changed the design, so that area is now sealed. The Swirl also comes apart, but there's a section of the base of the pot which is hard to reach for cleaning, and the main drive shaft that has the blade on it is also tricky to clean. The Gourmia is newer, and because it's been tested by fewer people, it's possible that it has flaws that haven't been spotted yet. But it comes apart completely and all removable parts are dishwasher safe. It's a simpler design than the Ninja, which means it doesn't look quite so cool when it's running, but the components are simpler shapes and therefore also easier to keep clean. So my vote goes to the Gourmia, particularly if your main use of this appliance is going to be ice cream. It's going to take up a fraction of your cupboard space compared to the 2 Ninja appliances. It's a quarter of the cost of buying the Slushi and the Swirl together. It makes ice cream from scratch and it keeps it cold. And although it's slower at dispensing drinks, it is actually faster overall. So I bought my Gourmia from Costco. At the time of filming this, that is still the cheapest place to get it, but you obviously have to also be a member. You can buy elsewhere though, and you'll see some options if you click on the QR code which is on the screen at the moment, or by checking out the links in the description below. And finally, a big thank you to my channel members who help support content like this and help enable me to buy the appliances that you'll see in most of these videos. Their names are appearing on the screen right now.